This is a science class, and we're going to be doing experiments in labs. And traditionally, experiments follow a certain setup, okay? And scientists do this so that there's consistency, so that you kind of know if someone's running an experiment, we're all kind of agreeing to the same rules and procedures, okay? So this is going to be a thing that you're going to need to know, and AP, for example, might give you a sample experiment that was done with some data, and you might have to look through that experiment, identify certain features, and look at the data, and like come to some conclusions, okay? So here are all the parts of an experiment. Okay, and when you're doing like a lab write-up, which like more on that later, but like this is typically the order things go in. Don't worry about that so much right now. We're going to go through each one of those on its own. So we're going to start with just like a basic example of looking at what color light helps plants grow the best, red, white, or blue. And we're going to then walk through this whole list, but with this kind of example experiment, okay? So first up is an objective. Every lab should have an objective. Why? Why are we doing this? What's the point? What are we trying to learn? So for our example, we're trying to learn which color of light helps plants grow the best, right? Next up is hypothesis. And so this is what you think is going to happen and why. You have to have a reason, either based off of previous knowledge, or if you have no previous knowledge, then you need to like do a little bit of research to find out something about it. This does not mean that you know the answer. It does not mean that you're like trying to find out the answer before it starts, but it just means you're trying to make an educated guess, okay? And oftentimes they're if-then statements, but you don't always see that. Not in every single area of science do you see that, in upper level science especially. But for example, for this experiment, we could say something like, if plants are grown in red, white, and blue light, then the plants in blue light will grow the best because blue is the color of the sky and plants grow when they are exposed to the sky. I don't know, right? I clearly just made that up off the top of my head. That's not a very good educated guess, is it? But something like that. If then, often if then because, something like that. Next up will be our independent and dependent variables. The independent variable is what you as the scientist can change or control. Okay, so what can I change or control in this experiment? That would be the color of the light. The dependent variable is what changes because of the thing that you did, right? So what might change because of the color of the light? The plant growth. So that would be my dependent variable there. You're going to have, I'm sure you all heard of a control group before, right? So the control group, like if I were to ask you the control group for this one, red, white, or blue, you probably hopefully say white, right? Because like typically if plants are growing, they're normally kind of growing in white light, right? Now, sometimes you can hear the terms positive control and negative control. Positive control is like, you know what's going to happen. So this would be the white light because like, I already know this. We see this everywhere. A negative control is also control. You know what's going to happen, but the idea is you know nothing is going to happen. So what kind of light could you expose plants to where you know nothing is going to happen? That would be like growing a plant in no light, complete dark, right? That would be a negative control. As far as our experimental groups, these are going to be the variations of the independent variable. So what's our independent variable again? The color of light. So what are the variations that isn't our control? Red and blue. So those would be our experimental groups, okay? And then controlled variables would be anything you're keeping the same between all of your control. So your red, white, and blue. What are we keeping the same in between all of those, okay? Because we only want one thing to be different, so we know, hopefully, if we see different growth, it's because of that variable. So what else are we keeping the same? The type of plant, how long the light is on, the amount watered, if there's fertilized, right? All of that different stuff we would want to keep the same. Next, you're probably going to have some data tables. They should always be organized into an actual table, like drawn with rulers and closed in a box. There should be like a title so we know what we're looking at. Units where appropriate. Okay, so if you're measuring, make sure you say if it's grams or centimeters or what have you. You can include averages, and oftentimes if you do include averages, it's really good to show an example calculation below the table so that people know you're doing your math right, okay? And then we're going to be graphing. Most of the graphs we'll be making will be like a scatter plot, a line, or a bar graph. But for any type of graph, they all need to have a descriptive title, which has the independent and the dependent variable included. You should have your X and Y axis labeled with units. You should have consistent spacing along the X and consistent spacing on the Y, but those don't have to be the same. But if you want to go by 5s on the X and go up by 10s on the Y, that's fine. But just be consistent with it. Make sure that you number your things so that like most of the paper is taken up. Don't just have it be like a teeny tiny little corner of the graph paper. Connect dots if that makes sense. And if it's data where we are able to calculate standard deviation, then you should include error bars. And if necessary, things should be labeled, or you should put a key or a legend, right? If that is appropriate. So there's next going to be a data analysis section. And so what would we say about this graph? What does the data say? What are the trends? Now, this is not obviously quite the same. I couldn't find a graph of the same. This is growing plants in different colored light, right? So what could we say? We could say that based off of this, plants grew best under the yellow light. They grew worst under the purple. All plants grew under different light conditions, but it took them a couple days to get going, right? Something like that. And then there's always going to be some error analysis because no experiment is perfect. But we're not talking about human error. Okay, if you're like, oh, well, I knocked over my plant and so it died, so to throw it away. If that happened, then you should redo your lab. Okay. Also, never blame equipment. The reason why I didn't get what I expected is maybe my scale wasn't working. No, don't blame your equipment. Okay. Like if you know something went wrong, obviously you should say it, but that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is what's called experimental error. So this is stuff for maybe there's a little gray area here, but they're not your fault. It was kind of part of the design of the experiment. So for example, if we're growing things under different light, maybe, like light bulbs produce heat. Like maybe the plants got heated up different amounts by my light bulbs. And so that could have caused them to grow. Or maybe I had the red, the white, and the blue, not that far from each other. So maybe they got a little bit exposed to each other's light. Or, I did this experiment for 2 weeks, but I wasn't able to come to school on the weekends. So I didn't get to water or take data measurements over weekends, right? So these would all be things that are part of the setup, but that wasn't your fault, if that makes sense. And then we typically always want to think ahead about what could we do as a follow-up? What more could we learn? How could we apply this? What else could we test this on? So hopefully you have a good view now of experiments and different parts of experiments so that we can get down to it this year and do lots of cool labs.